All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
They cut my food stamp card off. Zero balance. They took everything. I was just at Meijer's to get some groceries. I had a cart full of groceries, over $600 worth of crap. I went to go slide my card. It's gone. It's all gone. They aren't paying my rent this month. I don't get my disability or my kids' disability in the first. My cash benefits is gone. I had over $10,000 in food stamps and it's... Oh my God. So I told my husband and he says to me, as I'm crying, and he says to me, well, maybe you'll lose some weight now. God, why did I vote for him? I did not know this was gonna happen. I can't go get a job. Is there anybody out there that can help me, please? Please.
I don't understand why I'm getting so much hate for being on welfare. Like, why? That's what it is there for. Do they expect me to have 6 kids with 4 different fathers and not be on welfare? What am I supposed to do? They expect me to pay for my own daycare. They expect me to pay for my own food, my own diapers. They expect me to pay rent. I can't pay rent. I have 6 kids. I have to keep a roof over. I have to keep a roof over their head. No. I have been on welfare since I was 19 years old, when I was pregnant with my first child, who is now 15. I've written it all down to give you guys a clear picture, okay? Okay, so I receive 3,300 in EBT food stamps a month. Okay, that is just food. $900 in cash benefits. I get it on my EBT card, and then I get like a pack of gum, and then I withdraw the cash from Walmart, Meijer's, whatever. I also get Section 8 housing, okay? So they pay for most of my rent. I pay like $70-some, and then half of water. Okay? With them requiring me to pay back the last 12 months, add all that up, my TikTok income should not be considered a job. That should just be extra. I can't get my whole welfare shut off because I am monetizing on TikTok. There's no possible way that I can support my family on that. So, Michigan, do better. You're not cutting my crap off. Not happening.
Go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get. I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't. What the fuck am I gonna do? Oh, fuck.
Okay, so I wanted to take a look at this chart, which lets you know about the individuals that get food stamps and other benefits like that. Now, when I went on the floor and basically we were getting started to process paperwork, all that stuff, you were told to do certain things a certain way, and the rules changed every 5 minutes. So basically, when people were literally going by the book of what they were taught for those months, you would see that a lot of the stuff in the files of people who received the benefits, most of that stuff is an error. There's lots of errors in there. And I tried to find the other chart that showed the demographics by race, and I don't want to go through that again because everyone knows in this country, and I don't give a damn about a population, you cannot hold the majority of the wealth while simultaneously holding all of the SNAP benefits. Basically, colorless people get the most in benefits. And when I say the most, they are trying to separate out, the ones who are Hispanic and the ones who are not. But when you would look at the number, there is also a unknown, and there's a code for that. Basically, you list it when you don't know the race of the person. This happens when you are going through the flow of the application. And if they haven't put that on there, you can put unknown. Most of the time they will reveal who they are. And just to let you know, a lot of Mexican, Hispanic people, Latinos, they mark themselves as white, just to let you know. But in there is where they count up the demographics by race. So I've seen a lot of stuff with that, and a lot of the finagling happens at the state level. I have seen a big family group of colorless people who were marked unknown. I've seen that happen in a couple of cases, and I have seen on the flip side in Black households where there were multiple cases open for them. It seemed like every time they would move to a new address, their previous case was not closed, but a new one was open at the next address. And that is something that was never supposed to happen. And mind you, I was in a red state doing this. So what that means is, since these are a different case, let's say you have 6 different cases. You have a mother, a child, and a father. So this is 4 people in a home. These same 4 people, because these are different case numbers and addresses, and they're still active, they are counting 6 different times. So that one person, there's 5 extra thems. So if you have the 4 people and you have 6 cases that are open, it is counting the demographics that they put on the chart as 24 people? It will say 24 Black people are receiving benefits because they have not closed the other 5 cases, and there's only 4 Black people in that household. They mess with the statistics that way. So when you're in the case and there was someone who got up in the middle of the floor when there were so many calls coming in, and oh my God, they couldn't handle the workload, and they wanted just a handful of people to handle the workload, which was idiotic, which is why what happened. But they got up in the middle of the floor, and I guess people were kind of angry the way people were talking to them. But we were told the majority of those who receive these public assistance benefits are children. So whenever you're talking about taking SNAP benefits for someone, you're basically taking food out of children's babies' mouths. That's what you're advocating for. And if you think that any good is going to come to you because this is such a Bible-believing nation, a nation under God, aren't you tasked with taking care of children and the widows, the women, those who are less fortunate? Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? So why are you whining and crying and wanting to take food? Literally, the free lunch program, you want to take food out of kids' mouth. Sometimes that's the only thing they have to eat. And I personally know about that. And I've told the story a couple of times. We had nothing. If it wasn't for the fruit trees in the backyard, nothing for 30 days. Bent over in pain, hungry. And a teacher noticed, and she went to a program that delivered food. And it took us into the next month. You sit up here and you talk about stuff that you don't know. And because you may have experienced some hardships, it can get worse. And you are talking against children. That's this line right here. Children get the most. Sometimes in households, when we do the application, the parents get 0, nothing because of the income they're making. And the threshold is BS at this point. Especially with how much stuff costs and the wages that people get. They're trying to do away with it, and it's absolutely disgusting to be taking food out of children's mouths. Who's next? Elderly people. Oh, you so, here we go. So love grandma and grandpa, don't you? But I have seen where there were people who got as little as $16, and they said they needed that $16 because that $16 got them through because they were on a fixed income. But you're talking out of your ass and you don't know what you're talking about, and you're advocating for hurting the elderly and children. Who's next? People with disabilities. That's next. So someone is disabled and they shouldn't eat. I guess that's what you're saying. If you don't want kids to eat, you sure don't give a damn about the disabled. And then the next is non-disabled, childless adults subject to work registration. And the next is adults 18 to 49 without disabilities in a childless home. And people are wondering, well, they're not disabled, they're able-bodied. Who the hell said that they're not working? Who said that these people are not working? That's your problem, is that you think you know everything. And then you call in there to somebody like me talking about you've seen them buy this, or you don't know shit. You don't know those people's lives. You don't know what debts they have. You don't know how much of their income is going to what that actually pushes them into the threshold to be approved. Because there are so many ways to deny people. There are so many ways to deny. But people literally are qualifying for these. You don't just go in and ask. You have to qualify. And if you think these people don't know if you have a job, you're a joke. You, like I said, you haven't worked within this capacity, so you have no idea the information and technology they have. They send out all this paperwork and want you to respond because they want to see if you're going to be honest about shit we already know. But you're sitting up here talking about these people, they just want to eat off us. I would rather my tax dollars go down the throat of a child, an elderly person, a disabled person, someone on work subject to work registration, or someone who is working but can't make ends meet because of greedy corporations that you helm and look at these people like they're the best in the world, like President Elon Musk. I'd rather they get the little bit of money that they're getting or benefits that they're getting than him getting the corporate welfare. Again, I've shown this several times, that SNAP targets those in the greatest need: children, elderly persons, and individuals with disabilities. I've talked to these people, and it was people with children. They didn't get any, they got $0, but their kids got SNAP benefits. Elderly people as little as $16, and you don't even want them to have fucking $16. And that was at the time when I was working there. So, and you know the kicker, people that work there made so little that they qualify for the benefits themselves. Yeah, they were working at the public assistance office getting public assistance. It should tell you something. But yeah, 86% will go to a child, elderly, or disabled person. 92% of all SNAP benefits go to those with an income that's below the poverty line. It's abysmal what they call the poverty line. It's a fucking joke. Now, white people receive more than 37%. African Americans, black people receive less than 26%. Hispanics, 16%. Asian, 3%. Native Americans, 2%. And then 16% categories are unknown. Put that up there with Caucasian, up there. Put that up there with that. Many SNAP households earn income. Shocking, because I talked about in my other video how if somebody is being paid every week, that is the worst one. People do not like to get income, especially if they have children and they are getting medical benefits. Yeah, you need 3 months of previous income that you have to put into the penny, and because your medical benefits will backdate 3 months for your kids and yourself. So you're putting in week after week after week after week income. And that's what people would submit. They would submit if they got a job, they still qualify. People calling in trying to report people for fraud. Fraud is not rampant. There's a way to look to see when people started working, where they working, when their work ended, other benefits that they may be getting. And yes, there are very few people who get cash benefits. And the one thing, because the fighting poverty, SNAP is not fighting poverty because it's not enough benefits that are being given. It's inadequate. It's not adequate at all. It needs to be redone. Yeah. So all that crying, all that whining, and look who's all over social media crying about they're not going to have any Cheerios in the morning. But yet you get this welfare queen, black woman, Afro, eating lobster, shrimp, and steak as if that's a bad thing. Who's just living high off the hog. She's going on vacations every other month. She's buying diamond hoop earrings. She's got a fur. She's, driving a Cadillac. She's got her, 8 children. Getting all types of disability, just fraud everywhere. But we see who's on social media crying. But then again, this is real life. This is reality. You freaking praise these elitists, these corporations, these CEOs, and they've gotten away with it, trying to act like they work so hard they don't do shit. The only reason they're in that position is because they know somebody who knows somebody. And I need the rest of you idiots to understand that you're not a part of the good old boys club. You are an expendable. And I will continue to call you an expendable. To think that Vice President Trump and President Elon Musk looks at you, someone who is in the upper middle class, as if you are their equal or you are their brethren, you are a fool. You are a capital F fool to think that. And anything that would help you, they want to take it away, and they want it for themselves. Just like the governor in Mississippi, complaining, talking about the people who were getting benefits. Turn around and he gives a football player millions for not even doing the speeches he was supposed to do, and to gift for his daughter's college and volleyball team, to build that for them. And then he was taking his friends on vacations, buying homes, lavish gifts. They were eating shrimp cocktail, lobster tails, and eating porterhouse steaks, rolling in the money. But only a person can only get $200. You can only get $200. You don't need to eat. You just need to go, like President Elon Musk's mother said, you just need to go to work 16 hours to 20 hours a day, then go home, spend time with your 18 children that you popped out, and get up and do it all over again. But I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.